Good morning, everybody, and this is your Forex day trade setups for today. So, what can we say about price action yesterday? We've got a rejection off the top and we've got a rejection off the bottom. So, big tail up, big tail down, pin bar up, pin bar down. Moving averages, sorry, not moving averages, but the oscillators crossing over. We are in an upward trend, but we are crossing over in the oscillators. This is starting to look like a top, and we do have some structure here. You go back all the way to 2015 on the weekly, that is, and there's even back to 2002, 2000, 1997. This has been a zone of interest for a number of years. So it's going to take a lot to get through here. I think that's what it boils down to. So this is definitely looking like a bear rally at the moment. So that is pointing towards the recession fears that are a global recession fear for 2023, and that is what we're seeing here. This is where the early players are trying to place their bets, anticipating that recession. So in other words, we are expecting another leg down for Euro USD. For me at the moment, looking at the hour, we are sideways. I have no interest in this until we get a clear picture to the downside. So I definitely don't want to be going long right now, not with what I'm seeing on the higher time frames. So I'm paying attention to 102737. So what you would expect is a break, probably find some kind of a bounce off the 155 EMA here, moving back up, and then test one of these tails before moving average crossover and then dropping to the downside. So may happen today, may not happen this week, but for me at the moment I'm sitting, it's starting to smell like a top, so we'll wait for confirmation before jumping in on that one. Moving on to US dollar Japanese yen, different picture here. So these are pretty solid moves to the downside, but if you just have a look at the weekly, we've had a very strong rally, and look at that big pullback here. So we are bouncing off weekly structure. There it is. Let me just get that other level in. There it is there. And we also have grouped and crossing over. So this is signaling a bit of a deeper pullback. Now, don't really trust it. Just seeing what's happening on Euro USD. Whenever you get conflicting views on the $2 pairs, it's always a signal to be very careful. So right now we are a bit of a rally, and even if we do rally up, there's a fairly decent level to pay attention to, and then these two tails are another decent area to pay attention to. But this here would get a rejection, so that's 143516. Now if we just get down to the hour, what are we seeing? We're seeing a range. Okay, trend is down, clear down trend, and it does look like we are probably going to bump our head on some structure somewhere along the line. This level is still very open. That's 1464. So I would expect some kind of rejection here for probably another pullback to find a base, but we're going to have to wait for these moving averages to cross over before it agrees with what we're seeing on Euro USD. So at the moment, possibly just range bound, but also could be just continuing the downtrend if you just look at the oscillators at the moment. So really mixed signals. We're going to have to break sort of below these. Let me just get a half decent area here. I think that's probably the wisest choice. So 138441, break, retest that, then all bets off. We're continuing down, and then if we start getting above, I'm just going to adjust this to the highs here. We start getting above 147.65, then I would argue that this is a bottom, and we are looking to continue moving to the upside in the direction of the weekly trend. So that's kind of what I'm seeing on the dollar pair. So very volatile at the moment, and well worth just paying attention to, because I suspect there's some bit of data that we're not aware of, or some inside information that we as retail traders don't have, which is setting us up for a continuation of what we've seen this year. So just pay attention to what's going on. Moving on to pound, British pound, Japanese yen. I'm seeing a flag here. There's no other way to explain that structure. It is clear as day. Got a crossover of my moving averages, and what I'm looking for is a decent level for rejection. So that's the first level which would offer some form of rejection. But at the moment, if you look left, there's nothing else in this area that we're in except for this swing high. And we've been rejecting it all along this whole week. So are we just stretching above it? And then when the 8-hour closes, it closes below it. That's something we need to pay attention to. But for me at the moment, you can see this is chaotic at the moment. We've got a crossover of the moving averages. We're flirting here. It's in a fairly strong channel, which in my view anyway is a flag. But obviously we need to drop below these swing lows of yesterday for that flag to play out. So for me right now, definitely don't want to be chasing longs. Definitely don't want to be chasing shorts. I want to see structure. And there is no structure. We've got an hour close above this previous level, so that does not offer any support for me. So that is my next level there. Let's see what happens here at 166354. Inside bar, engulfing bar, pin bar off that level. We're looking for a move to the bottom of the channel. Start dropping below this area here, and that's for now, but you can probably start moving it up to the other tails at the moment. So you start dropping below 164.582, drop, retest, that validates the flag, and come back to your 8-hour. You're looking at a move which is probably going to be something along the lines of 4,450 points from wherever we turn. So if you look to the left, you can see there's a fairly decent amount of resistance down here. So that would be the next leg down. And I'm only taking it from this swing high here. You could probably argue this going to, from this move down, consolidate down, which will take you a bit lower into probably that zone. So that would be your target area there of 167.16. Yeah, so pay attention to this. This is looking pretty interesting. You'll probably find some 15-minute price action here as well. You can see there it's already starting to form. But anyway, pay attention to it and just wait for the structure before you jump in on that one. Moving to Euro British Pound. Another one which is looking really tired. So we are in an upward trend, but the oscillator is just not giving us any direction. And for 2 weeks now, it's been up and down, up and down, up and down. So get a level on the bottom of this range, get a level on the top of the range. That is your range. Look to the left, you can see lots of interaction this year in that area. Lots of rejections in the past. And there's another rejection there. And I just want to go one more. Let's just do that on the weekly so we don't waste unnecessary time. And have a look at that. All the way back to 2017, that area has been an area of interest. Okay, if you look at this weekly, that's a big rejection bar, that. So kind of messy, but I don't really like trading this one on long-term stuff anyway. This is always just good for London breakout strategies. So yesterday we had the first 8-hour bars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the top of our range was there, bottom of our range was there, so there it is there, and you can see there's our range target. So we hit the range target fairly fine. I think that worked out pretty good. And if we just drop down to 50-minute, because that's what you would have been watching for this, you can see moved up. This bar here was your range bar, so that's the last bar of the the last 15-minute bar of the 8th hour, and then you can see engulfing bar down, looking for a second signal. There's a second signal, engulfing bar. Take the trade here to the short side and up, and you're targeting the range. That's the one way of doing it. The other one was just waiting for a break of the downside here for moving to the downside. Why am I looking for the shorts? Because on the hour, you look at the hour, you can see there's a big rejection bar off that area there. So the other way is just there. 220 point stop loss for the move to the downside. For today, probably the similar kind of setup, and I would be looking at a rejection of this area here where we are right now. Actually, could also just go a bit higher up to there. Let's just delete this noise. Okay, so we could go up to this area here at 087603, or alternatively, this is the zone we need to be paying attention to. And ladies and gentlemen, this is another range, or another flag. So drop below the lows of yesterday, and you can actually just move that level up. Drop below there, retest of this area, which is 087121. Then you're looking for a measured move, something along. That's not going to help us, is it? Something along the lines of that. And I'll put a level in, and we'll just go quickly back to the 8th hour just to see what we have there. And you can see there are some previous tails here. So it's basically bottom of the bigger range. That's kind of my view at the moment. Another one to pay very close attention to today. I would really pay attention to the London breakout strategy as well. So let me just delete that. First 8 1-hour bars. Let's get your range in. So, you know, if this is going to be it. 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 5 hours at the moment. So there it is. And you see that lines up quite nicely with this here. So it's a break of that. We are in a downward trend on the hour. So another reason why you don't want to be taking the break to the upside, and we're also in a downward trend on the 15 minutes. So wherever that 8th hour bar closes, pay attention to price action there. If you start getting bearish price action at that level, well worth taking the trade. And the nice thing about this pair is you can get up, sort of up to this area of 087627 for a stop loss, and that risk to reward is going to be let's say 200 point stop loss. You're going to get a 683 point gain just to the range, and then you can take some off there, wait for the pullback, add more on the pullback, and then you're looking for this 08 what's this? This is 086476 as your downside target. Anyway, that's kind of my view today. I hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.